has been 3 years since I was last in the Victorian High Country, and I must admit I forgot a little how good it is. In this series I discover an issue with my cruiser and nearly pull the plug on the trip. We search for underground waterfalls, we spent a stormy wet night on top of Mount Sunday, we drive one of the supposedly hardest treks in the Victorian High Country and it doesn't end without damage. We drive steep hills and tight switchbacks where every mistake could have fatal consequences. We explore amazing river waterholes, and I found out what happens if two eagles attack a $3,500 drone. So strap yourself in for the ride. Welcome back to part 4 of our Victorian High Country 4-wheel drive adventure. In the last episode we just finished a challenging Mount Sunday trek which caused a fair bit of panel damage to some in our group. Now we are making our way down Middle Ridge Road and Black Soil Track towards the Mcalister River to find a nice camp spot and swimming hole. I think we all have earned a good swim after these first 5 hours of the day. So pretty much ExplorOz Traveler cannot run in the background and record my track. Every time that app is not in the foreground it creates a phantom line. That is not good. Not happy, Jane. We made it now down to the Black Soil Gully track, and that weaves along the Mcalister River and has plenty of river crossings. The water level of the Mcalister River wasn't very high. That means all the crossings were pretty easy and safe for us to do. Though water levels can change quickly, and I definitely would recommend to have a sealed raised air intake for any high country trip. A long day today, already 4 o'clock, super early up, headache. Already took a tablet but didn't do much since this morning actually. And not a good night's sleep last night, that's for sure, with all that storm and wind. And anyway, gotta offload all the footage today because so much gold, can't risk losing that. So yeah, it's gonna be a long day, but I'm a bit knackered. Supposedly we stopping at the best swimming hole around, which will be good. Not sure how much time we still have to swim, but we have to go for a morning swim. But a good day, very eventful day. This was the last water crossing before we would reach our camp spot, and Stephen chose well again. We had an absolutely stunning waterhole and I was really looking forward to get set up and then go for a swim.
That means it's safe.
I don't know what I did to Wayne, but he really transformed from this reluctant swimmer in the cold waters. He now was the first one in, and he would be the one who convinced me to go swimming early in the morning when it was even fresher. After this long day I really needed a good dinner, so I had a steak cut to slices, some frozen vegetables, black rice and a Chinese sauce. I'm impressed. Wayne really elevated it to a different level with an early morning swim in the cold mountain stream. Given that I gave him a few cold water swimming pep talks the days before, I could not sit back. It was very cold, but a great start to a day. For me, it is hard to start the day without a good coffee, and I have to say I really enjoy my Delter coffee press. It is a little more time consuming than my AeroPress, but if I have the time, I choose the Delter over the AeroPress any day. Unfortunately, another example where a company goes back in quality. Sistema kitchen containers. The older clip, what they call it, clip-ons or whatever. This one here, which I show you now, I have in the car in the same conditions. I can't even tell you from how many years, 6-7 years. I recently replaced one of them because the lid got really bent over time, but evenly bent just from having stuff on it. And the new Sistema is not even 6-7 months old. This is warped as, I don't know whether you can see that. The lid you can hardly close it anymore. This side I can't close at all. Look how bent that all is. This is my old Sistema, or one of the other old Sistemas. Straight as, top quality, long lasting. New one, engineered to fail very quickly under a little bit of heat, and that would be all from the heat in the car. So I recommend these new Sistemas, unfortunately. But now we're heading towards the butcher country. I have mixed experience with the butcher country. Oh, actually I love it, but on my first ever guided trip where I was a trip leader, I think first or second, it was 11 years ago, something like that. We wanted to drive up the link track, and one of the participants did not follow the advice to wait for us, drove up behind us anyway, and with the full car completely overloaded, and two or three kids in the car, wife, him, he evaded a rock and nearly went down the embankment, just got hung up on the diffs, and we had a 3-hour recovery. There is a good old video about that. I link it somewhere here if you want to watch that. It was an interesting trek. But otherwise, been in the butcher country a few times, love it. This time we're coming in a different way, going down the link track, and yeah, find a nice new camp down in the butcher country. So it turns out before we leave the Mcalister River, we're going to what Stephen reckons is the best swimming hole on the whole river, possibly in the high country. I don't know. Let's find out.
It's a virus that's been spread by a New South Welshman by the name of Stephen Fisher, this swimming thing. And he's brought it into Victoria through quarantine somehow, but we've all been infected.
And that swimming hole now is a special one, you said?
It's the best one in the world.
The best one in the world.
Waterfall, swimming hole, basking in the sun, and a campsite.
Wow, that is a big call.
10 out of 10 on the Trickey camp meter.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
Oh. Nice. Pretty nice. I don't think we caught the hole at its best day. It's a little bit slimy. So we're walking one hole down, not far. So this one here, I think it's better. Butcher country trek, nice and steep. Butcher country link track. That is where that patrol nearly rolled at the time. It has been great. It looks a fair bit different now. Ready for the third swim?
Ready for the third swim of the day, yes.
And it's not even 12.
Beautiful.
I was just about to say that. Some very high-pitched noise coming from here. Any Swedish backpackers here?
Did you hear the screaming?
That's why I'm wondering where the backpackers are. There's a bit fresher here. Oh, I can't even stand here, or just barely. Yeah, beautiful.
Just touching here.
I mean, look at that.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It is stunning. Look at the cliffs behind me here. Oh. People can't be bothered walking in the water and getting the hook out. Found some fishing down here. Is the hook still on it? Yeah. Yeah. Good. Lucky. I was just sitting there. Ah, stunning. Stephen, where's the next waterhole? Today is the day of the swimming holes. It's 1 o'clock. We had already 4 different swims, 3 different waterholes. Now head to the next waterhole and we'll camp there for the night. Down here in the butcher country, it's just beautiful. While the water levels are low and all the crossings are really easy, these can change in an instant if there is a lot of rain upstream. So always keep that in mind. We found ourselves a perfect river camp spot, actually the same camp spot I stayed 9 years ago. It has a beautiful little waterfall and some pleasant pools and a nice little rock terrace where you can sit and just enjoy the river flowing past. And as you may have already guessed, it was time for swim number 5 today. The rocks were super slippery, so it was advisable to have 4 contact points at all times. With sweet blackberries growing all along the river, there was a bit of try to catch going on. However, the success rate was fairly slim and there was a lot of wastage. The quick setup and comfortable night's sleep is one of the big benefits of a stretcher tent in my book. I'm here in the beautiful Victorian High Country and I thought I'd share my experience with you with a little gadget I'm testing for the past few months. And it is a Flextail which pumps up your sleeping mattress. I'm using a pump to pump up my Neo Air sleeping mattress for quite some time, and this is here the Thermarest Neo Air pump. I would have this pump, I'd say probably 6-7 years. It runs on 2 AAA batteries and it works, it lasts. However, it is not very fast. Not too long ago, Flextail contacted me, Chinese company, and asked whether I would be interested in testing one of their pumps. I did see it somewhere on Facebook advertised and there are a few people flogging it, so I said, yep, sure, please send me one over if you like, and I do a quick review. And that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, I've done quite a few nights with it, and for the most part I do really like it. So let me first talk about the good things. It has a built-in lithium. It has a built-in lithium battery, so I can recharge it. That means no more carrying batteries with me. It has here a simple USB-C charger. That's also good. It's USB-C, not the old mini USB, so I really like that. What I also really like is that it is super fast. I mean, in comparison to these, I hook that onto my mattress and I can easily go away for 5-6 minutes. There are a lot of March flies here, sorry. And then I still need around 10 breaths to really fill up the mattress, because that pump really doesn't have enough pressure or PSI to put a decent pressure in. So that's a starter. Then I have to finish off with the mouse, between 8 and 10 blows. In comparison, the Flextail really has some grunt behind it. It pumps up the mattress probably in a minute, so there's no way going away and doing something else. And it also has a much higher PSI output. I mean, I do not have a comparison figures, but these pretty much pumps the mattress ready to close it and sleep. I may put 1 or 2 breaths in just to make it very hard, but yeah, no comparison. So really good. The cons. Number 1 is that the outlet here doesn't really work very well with any of these turnstile sleeping mattresses, and I have quite a few of them. It is kind of tapered down, but it is very hard to really attach it. It doesn't really stick to it. The slightest movement will pull it out. Versus the thermarest here, if I pull the thermarest out, this is very tight. It fits very snug. I can actually let it hang on the mattress down and it will not come loose. The Flextail came with a few other attachments, but they are only hard attachments. So I really wish they had another flexible one, or this would be a little bit longer and a bit more like a funnel shape. So that's number 1. Number 2, too many things. I mean, it has a light. I don't know why people nowadays put LED lights in everything. I mean, so far I really never thought, shit, I wish that pump had a light. So I don't like that much. The second thing is that you will need to read a manual. According to the manual, you are supposed to hold the button for 3 seconds for camping light mode and a double click to operate the pump. But I found that a little inconsistent, as you can see here. I have plenty of dedicated LED lights and rather would prefer to be only a pump. So to get to the pump, which is the main function of that thing, I didn't get it for a light, I got it to be a pump. For that you have to do a double quick press. But sound that difference? Let me show you that difference here. Or yeah, so quite a difference, huh? So yeah, I really wish the main application, which is a pump, that should be 1 press or 1 long press, maybe to not accidentally switch it on. But a double press took me a little while to figure it out. Look, I'm being fussy here. Another thing quite neat, it has a magnet, so it will stick to stuff. I don't know what that really is useful for. The pump also has a deflating feature. The attachments to the rear doesn't fit that easy, and it really doesn't fit these standard valves very well, to be honest. Does work though. But I'm gonna keep on using it simply because it's super fast, it's rechargeable. It puts far more pressure in my air mattress, so I don't have to blow it up by mouse anymore. And yeah, that are really the main reasons. I think the price is another one. Okay, here we are. That was March fly number, I don't know, 74 today probably. Another one, they're coming. First let him set, comfortable, and then squash him. But overall seems to be a good product. I keep using it. So far I can recommend it. Once it fails, if it fails in a hurry, I will let you know, as always. So the Trickey bar is open. I'm not a big alcoholic, but thanks to these gentlemen, He now made me one. I wouldn't call it alcoholic, but look at this setup.
Well, one of the pleasures in life that you can have relaxing by a river fall on the Caledonia River under
Yes.
a nice rocky outcrop is a nice refreshing gin and tonic. So we start off with a slice of lime each, about 3mm wide. And we need 4 of those for 4 people. 3, 4, 1 for each. Slice of gin, Heathcote gin with chocolate.
Very neat.
Natural botanicals from Heathcote in Victoria,
Yeah.
infused with chocolate.
Beautiful.
Depending on your taste or your alcohol, is it? On how much you put in. I go easy on Stefan because I don't want
Yeah.
to turn him into a
Full-fledged boozer.
fully fledged boozer. Is it? Top back on there, put it out in the sun. You must have Australian tonic water, no sugar. Don't buy that swept shit from the supermarket, it's got too
Okay.
much sugar in it.
Okay, yeah.
That interferes with the gin.
Okay. And I have to admit, I tasted yesterday and it is beautiful. Very nice and refreshing. Here we are. Lemon, lime. Oh. But let's wait until I show you the spot where we gonna enjoy these now. Wayne, sorry, what is it?
Well,
That's a fishing line we found, or you found?
Found the fishing line, yeah, at our last swimming hole.
Yes,
Swim number 4.
number 4, yeah.
Yeah. And just couldn't find a straight bit of branch, so the aerial, the sand flag.
Sand flag.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see whether you
So-
get us dinner.
We'll see how we go.
Unfortunately, the fishing did not yield any results. However, good effort, Wayne. Ready to rumble.
Ready to rumble? Number 5. Number 5.
Waterhole number 5, swim number 6 for the
trip.
day. No,
the day?
for today.
Oh God.
I don't think the swimming is as good here, but I don't know what's down here. Swimming in Waterhole number 5 was very picturesque, but had little to do with swimming. It was more like sitting in a half-filled bathtub, because there was really no deep waterhole to sit in. Quite a bummer. Just getting my Coleman dual fuel stove out, which I love. I have that thing for 10 years, and you have to pressurize it. Nothing. Gone. Fortunately, I've purchased one of these. That's in the car for years. And I think today is the time I need it. So instead of cooking, I'm replacing hopefully that thing. Let's see how that goes. Well, no, that's it. That feels already very different. May have fixed it. Yes, that's it. next episode of our Victorian High Country 4-wheel drive adventure, we have some more early morning swims at crystal clear and freezing cold mountain creeks. I share a little camping hack to control small stuff in the kitchen drawer. We drive the notorious Dingo Hill. We visit McMichael's and Kelly's hut, and then find a beautiful camp spot by the Dolladroke River. My Mavic 3 drone was attacked by 2 eagles, which resulted in some incredible footage, but also the loss of the drone. This story does have a very unexpected happy ending, so make sure to check it out. As always, thanks a lot for joining us on this trip. This is a self-supported channel, so if you're feeling generous, please consider shouting me the equivalent of a cup of coffee or two via Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. And I will be eternally grateful. Thank you very much. Hope to see you along the tracks.